Krishna's voice grew firm yet compassionate as he continued to guide Arjuna through life's deeper truths. Arjuna, he said, when someone chooses to ignore the wisdom of the Vedas and instead chases only personal pleasures, they live a life of missed purpose. Such a life, however full of worldly comforts, lacks true meaning. He then described a different kind of person, one who finds peace not in possessions or accolades but within themselves. There are those, Arjuna, who find joy, contentment, and satisfaction from within. For them, there are no external duties to fulfill, no need for outer accomplishments to prove their worth. Their happiness comes from a wellspring within their own heart. In this state of contentment, Krishna explained, this person has nothing to gain from acting or refraining from action. They are not bound by dependence on anything or anyone outside themselves. Yet Krishna reminded Arjuna that this was no reason to avoid his responsibilities. Continue to fulfill your duties, but do so without attachment to the results. When you act without concern for the rewards, focusing only on the act itself, you will rise to the highest spiritual state. Krishna's gaze softened as he spoke of the ancient kings. In ages past, great leaders like King Janaka found perfection by performing their duties with selflessness. For the good of the world, they acted with integrity and set a noble example. So too must you, Arjuna, for even beyond your own journey, the world looks to you as a guide. Arjuna felt the weight of Krishna's words, recognizing the path laid before him, not just a path for his own growth, but one that would inspire and guide others. A path that embraced action, wisdom, and a heart unbound by the desire for reward. Krishna's voice became earnest as he shared the weight of his own role and the responsibility of those in positions of influence. Arjuna, he began, the actions of a respected figure resonate far beyond their own life. People tend to follow the example set by those they admire. Whatever a great person does, others will see as worth doing. This is why it is so important for those in such positions to act wisely and set the right example. He looked into the distance, as if seeing beyond the visible world. In truth, Arjuna, I have nothing that I need to accomplish. Across the three worlds, there is nothing I must gain, no duty I must fulfill. And yet, I choose to act. I continue to perform my responsibilities, not for myself, but for the sake of the world. Pausing, Krishna turned back to Arjuna, his gaze steady and unwavering. Imagine if I, who am free from obligations, chose to stop. Others would see my actions and assume it was acceptable to abandon their responsibilities as well. People would begin to neglect their duties, believing that they, too, could simply walk away from what is theirs to fulfill. With a somber tone, Krishna continued, if I stopped acting with integrity, chaos would ripple through the world. The order of society would unravel. People would lose their sense of purpose, and all that we know would descend into disorder and destruction. He then reminded Arjuna of the purpose behind selfless action. The wise, even those who understand deeper truths and are not bound by personal desires, must also carry out their duties. But they do so without attachment, their actions guided by a vision for the greater good. Arjuna felt the profound truth in Krishna's words. He saw that true wisdom was not in retreating from responsibility but in embracing it with a heart free from selfish motives. To act as Krishna did, not out of need but out of care for the world, this was the higher path, one that shaped lives and set a course for others to follow. Under the shade of their chariot, Krishna continued to share his wisdom, guiding Arjuna's troubled heart. A wise person, Arjuna, understands the minds of those still attached to the surface of their work and routines. They don't shake these people from their path by causing confusion or doubt. Instead, the wise guide gently, encouraging others to perform their duties with sincerity and purpose, without disrupting their beliefs or causing them to stumble. Krishna leaned in, his voice calm and steady. You see, Arjuna, every action we take is propelled by the forces of nature, forces beyond our personal control. Yet, people often think, I am in charge. I am the one making everything happen. This is the illusion of the ego, a misunderstanding of life's deeper truth. It's not truly us who control the flow of action, but the very forces of nature. He paused, his gaze sharp and clear. One who sees the truth recognizes that all actions arise from these interactions of nature. Understanding this, a wise person remains unattached, like a witness to the dance of life. rather than getting caught up in a sense of personal control. But remember, Arjuna, he continued, those who are entangled in their actions and believe themselves to be in control often cannot see past this illusion. It is not for the wise to shake them or to criticize. Instead, the wise offer guidance through patience, showing by example rather than by force. With these words, Krishna called Arjuna to a path of courage and purpose, a path guided not by pride or ego, but by wisdom and a heart free from attachment. Arjuna's spirit stirred, feeling the call to action, not as his own, but as part of a greater flow, with Krishna's words as his compass.